I stood at the ATM, hands shaking as the screen blinked back at me. Insufficient funds. I checked my phone. Balance 347. There should have been $18,000. The bank rep's voice came through my speaker, calm and detached. Yes, ma'am. Multiple withdrawals were made over the past 2 weeks, all authorized with your PIN. My stomach dropped. Only 3 people knew that PIN, and all 3 of them were family. My name is Valerie. I'm 27 years old. I worked as a medical billing specialist at a mid-sized clinic for 5 years. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't exciting, but it was stable. Honest work. And I was good at it. I'd saved aggressively for 3 years. $18,000. Every extra shift, every skipped dinner out, every birthday where I didn't buy myself anything nice. It all went into that account. I had a goal, a small condo, nothing fancy, just something that was mine. My family was small. My younger brother, Tyler, 24, our mom, Linda, and our uncle, Greg, who lived with us on and off, always between opportunities. Tyler was the dreamer. He'd tried dropshipping, cryptocurrency, a food truck that failed in 3 months. Mom always defended him. He's still finding himself, Val. You were always the responsible one. I wasn't jealous. I loved my brother. I helped him when I could. Uncle Greg? Same story. Always one scheme away from his big break. I let him crash at my place when he needed it. I trusted them. I supported them. I wasn't flashy or bold, but I had something they didn't. Discipline. And apparently, that made me an easy target. I just wanted a place of my own. Something small. Something mine. Has your family ever treated you like this? Share your story below. I drove straight to my mother's house, my hands still trembling on the wheel. I didn't call ahead. I didn't text. I just drove. When I walked in, I found Tyler and Uncle Greg in the living room, laughing, beers in hand. Tyler was wearing new sneakers, limited edition. I knew because he'd been talking about them for months. $400. Uncle Greg had shopping bags on the floor. Electronics, gadgets, boxes with brand names I recognized. I stopped in the doorway. Did you take money from my account? Tyler froze, just for half a second. Then he shrugged. Mom said it was fine. You always share, right? My voice cracked. That was my savings, Tyler. $18,000. Uncle Greg cut in, casual, like we were discussing the weather. Family helps family, Val. Don't be dramatic. My mother walked in from the kitchen, drying her hands on a dish towel. I turned to her. Mom, did you give them my PIN? She sighed, like I was overreacting, like I was the problem. Tyler needed help with a business investment. You know how hard it's been for him. The room tilted. My own mother had authorized it. Tyler leaned back on the couch, voice dripping with entitlement. You weren't using it right away. We'll pay you back. When? Silence. Uncle Greg laughed. Actually laughed. You're really gonna nickel and dime your own family? That's when I saw it. A receipt on the coffee table, dated yesterday. I picked it up. Cruise package for 3, $6,200. My voice came out hollow. You booked a vacation? My mother avoided my eyes. We deserve a break, Valerie. You've always been so rigid about money. I didn't say another word. I walked out, got in my car, drove home, and on that drive it hit me. They didn't just take my money, they planned it, together, and they felt completely justified. 2 days later, I saw Tyler's Instagram story, a fancy steakhouse. Him, Uncle Greg, my mom, and 2 of Tyler's friends, all of them dressed up, wine glasses raised. The caption, Success tastes better with the real ones. I recognized the restaurant. Entrees started at $60. I texted my mom. You're celebrating with my money? She replied hours later. Stop being bitter. You're always invited. But I wasn't invited. I'd seen the reservation screenshot Tyler posted. Party of 5. They weren't just spending my money. They were flaunting it. I decided I needed to talk to them face to face. Get a repayment plan. Something in writing. I went to my mother's house the following Saturday. When I walked in, there was a small gathering. Uncle Greg, Tyler, a few cousins I hadn't seen in months. I tried to stay calm. Can I talk to you privately, Tyler? He didn't even look at me, just raised his voice so everyone could hear. Here we go. Val's gonna guilt trip us again. My cousin Jenna laughed. What's the problem now? I felt my face burn, but I held my ground. He stole $18,000 from me. Uncle Greg scoffed, loud enough for the whole room to hear. Stole? Jesus, Valerie, we're family. Stop acting like some corporate robot. Tyler leaned forward, mocking. Not everything's a spreadsheet, Val. Some of us take risks. That's why you'll always be stuck. Laughter rippled through the room. I looked at my mother. She didn't defend me. She just looked away. I left, face burning, eyes wet. As I reached the door, I heard Tyler mutter behind me. She'll get over it. She always does. That sentence followed me all the way home. A week later, my phone rang, my mother's name on the screen. I almost didn't answer, but part of me, maybe the part that still believed in her, hoped this was the apology. Her tone was sweet, almost apologetic. Honey, can we talk? Okay. I think you're overreacting. Family goes through rough patches. You're making this a bigger deal than it is. My voice went tight. They stole nearly everything I saved. Her voice hardened. Fast. I raised you. I sacrificed everything. And now you can't help your brother when he's struggling. The guilt hit like a knife. She kept going. You've always been selfish with money, Valerie, even as a kid. I felt myself cracking. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I was being selfish. Maybe. If you keep this up, don't bother coming to family events. You're poisoning everything. That's when something shifted. I realized they would never apologize, never pay me back, and they would always paint me as the villain. I hung up quietly, and for the first time, I stopped crying. I started planning. That night, I sat at my kitchen table, laptop open. I wasn't heartbroken anymore. I was focused. I pulled up my bank records. I'd been meticulous for years, every transaction documented, every receipt saved. What they didn't know, I'd set up alerts on my account weeks ago after noticing small, odd withdrawals. I had timestamps, IP addresses. I'd already requested ATM camera footage. Then I started remembering other things. Tyler had asked me to co-sign a lease for him 2 years ago. I'd done it. Stupidly, that lease was still active, and he was 3 months behind on rent. Uncle Greg? I'd helped him apply for a personal loan last year. Gave him a reference. He'd defaulted. And my mother. Linda's name was on a joint credit card I'd opened in college to help her build credit. It was maxed out now. I began building a folder. Screenshots, emails, transaction records, loan documents. I wasn't angry anymore. I was surgical. I remembered something from a podcast I loved. If someone shows you who they are, believe them and plan accordingly. I opened a new bank account, one they knew nothing about, transferred my last $3,000 into it. Then I closed the old account entirely. They thought they'd bled me dry. They had no idea I'd been keeping receipts. I reached out to Devin the next morning. We'd been friends in high school. Now he was a paralegal. We met for coffee. I explained everything. His face hardened. Val, this is financial abuse. You know that, right? I nodded. Hearing him name it made it real. I can help you file a police report, explore small claims court, but first, start cutting every financial thread that ties you to them. So I got to work. I called Tyler's landlord, explained the situation, removed myself as co-signer. The landlord was sympathetic. I contacted the loan company, alerted them to Uncle Greg's fraud risk. I closed the joint credit card, transferred the debt liability back to my mother's name. Legally, it had always been her responsibility. Meanwhile, my family got more arrogant. Tyler posted photos from the cruise, palm trees, cocktails, dolphin excursions. Uncle Greg tagged me in a meme. When your family's thriving and the haters stay mad, I didn't respond. I just screenshotted everything. Devin helped me file an official fraud report with the bank. The bank started an investigation. The withdrawals were technically unauthorized. I'd never signed off in writing. I also discovered something else. Tyler's business investment? Another failing crypto scheme. He'd lost $10,000 of my money in 2 weeks. Uncle Greg had bought a motorcycle. Couldn't afford to insure it. Then my mother called again. This time she was furious. Why is my credit card shut down? I kept my voice calm. Because it was in my name and I closed it, she screamed. You vindictive little... I hung up. I wasn't scared anymore. I was ready. Then I got the letter from Tyler's landlord, threatening to sue me for unpaid rent because my name was still on file as a reference. That was it. I texted Tyler, my mom, and Uncle Greg. We need to talk. Saturday morning, Mom's house. Tyler replied first. Finally ready to apologize? I didn't answer. They agreed, confident I was caving. Saturday morning, I arrived at my mother's house. I had a folder, my phone, and Devin waiting outside in his car as a witness. Tyler was lounging on the couch. Uncle Greg was eating cereal at the kitchen counter. My mother stood near the sink. I sat down, calm, composed. Tyler grinned. Finally gonna stop being dramatic? I opened the folder. I'm here to show you exactly what's going to happen next. I slid documents across the table. 1. Bank fraud report. Officially filed. 2. Transaction records. Every withdrawal. Dates, times, amounts. 3. Security footage request confirmation from 2 ATMs. 4. Cosign release form for Tyler's lease. 5. Loan fraud alert filed on Uncle Greg. 6. Credit card closure notice. Debt transferred back to Linda. The room went dead silent. My mother's face went pale. What is this? I kept my voice steady. This is me dismantling every mess you made with my name on it. Tyler's smile vanished. You filed a police report? On your own brother? You stole $18,000. That's a felony. Uncle Greg tried to laugh it off. They're not gonna do anything. We're family. I locked eyes with him. The bank disagrees. So does the loan company. You're flagged for fraud. His face went red. My mother stood, voice shaking. You're going to destroy us over money. My voice didn't waver. You destroyed me and didn't blink. Now you deal with the consequences. Tyler panicked. Val, come on, we'll pay you back, I swear. I pulled out my phone, hit play on a recording. Tyler's voice filled the room, clear as day. She'll get over it. She always does. His face drained of color. You never planned to pay me back. You thought I'd just take it. I stood, gathered my folder. The fraud investigation's already in motion. Tyler, your lease is your problem now. Greg, good luck getting any credit for the next 7 years. Mom, that debt you racked up, it's yours. My mother stepped forward. Valerie, please. I cut her off. You told me not to come to family events. Don't worry. I won't. I walked out, closed the door behind me. Outside, Devin was leaning against his car. I exhaled. My hands were trembling. Not from fear, from release. How'd it go? He asked. I smiled, small, but real. They finally heard me. 3 weeks later, the bank's investigation wrapped up. Partial reimbursement. $11,000 recovered due to unauthorized access. Tyler's landlord went after him directly. He was forced to move back in with our mom. Uncle Greg's motorcycle got repossessed. Linda was stuck with $8,000 in credit card debt and a tanked credit score. I didn't gloat. I just moved forward. I used the recovered $11,000 plus my remaining savings to put a deposit on a small one-bedroom apartment. It was modest, barely 600 square feet, but it was mine. My mother tried calling once. I didn't answer. Tyler sent a text. I'm sorry, can we talk? I read it, then deleted it. Maybe one day, but not now. I changed my phone number, updated my address, blocked them all on social media. At my new apartment, I sat on the floor. The furniture hadn't arrived yet. No family photos, no drama, no guilt, just quiet. For the first time in my life, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I realized something sitting there. I'd spent years trying to prove I was worthy of their respect, but I never needed their approval. I needed my own. If you've ever had to walk away from people you loved because they couldn't see your worth, you're not alone. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I don't regret it. Where are you watching from? Drop it below. I always check. And if you've got a story like mine, share it in the comments. Sometimes just saying it out loud helps. Thanks for listening. And if this hit home for you, subscribe. There's more where this came from. You deserve people who celebrate you, not people who drain you. I'm Valerie, and I finally chose me.